is to have a majority. We have to have the majority party win certain votes to pass certain bills. So we must pressure the government in order for them not to go in or not to give in with whatever America is doing. Because if we really look at it, the tariffs or the tariffs war, and we look at what Canada provides for the United States, we see that Canada provides electricity for them. Canada provides oil for them. Canada provides certain industries for them. So if we, as Muslims, boycott any things that are to do with Americans or that support Americans, this will help Canada in flourishing and winning these so-called terrorist wars that America wants to put. He's raising taxes, tariffs, wars, making everything expensive in order to ship to the States or to ship to the States to here. But if we buy Canada's brand stuff, we see this also in history. How did they want to take down Islam? They told people, you cannot marry from them. They told their people, you cannot buy from them. You cannot do business with them. But yet, they plan and Allah plans. And surely Allah is the best of planners. So here, we as Muslims need to unite in order to fight these certain tariff wars that the American president wants. Because what's his intention? To tell you the truth, all these criminal things that he's putting, these are just excuses. His main goal, and he said it plainly, his main goal is to make Canada the 51st state. Now we know if we are the 51st states of the United States, a lot of Muslims will be deported, or a lot of oppressions will happen towards the Muslims. So these are the things that we need to stop. Not because, walaikum salam, not because, oh, I'm supporting a kafir government. No, it's because we're supporting Muslims. We're supporting Muslims to stay in this country. Because as Canadians, we also have rights and we also have says. And with this, we also have votes and our votes count. So this is why it's so important for every single Muslim out there to support Muslim businesses owned by Muslims. And we should try our best not to support companies that are owned by Americans. Because if this is the case, then trust me, the dream of so-called Doug Ford or these liberal parties will go and they will unite against Muslims. So all Muslims together, we need to unite, and especially Shias themselves. As Shias, we need to unite. Let's put our other Muslims brothers aside. As Shias ourselves, we need to unite before we call for unity for the whole Muslim Ummah. Because again, this is the birthday of our beloved 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi, Ajal al-Farj al-Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. At least let's honor him. From now until his dhuhur. From now until his Yawm al-Qiyamah. Let me ask myself, what can I do in order to better the Muslim community? Even if it's just referring someone, that's good. Even if it's just advising someone, that's good. If I cannot help someone with my money, then at least let me help them with my tongue. If I cannot help them with my tongue, then at least let me help them with my actions. And the least things that I can do to help my Muslim brother is to remain silent and not speak ill of them. Why? because they want to divide and conquer the Muslims. And we've seen this many times with history, many times with the imams that came before us. And our responsibility is first is ourselves. We have to claim responsibility. We have to take accountability of our own selves and our own actions. The moments we do that is the moments we will see that we will strive in this world and in the hereafter. Sallallahu Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله العلي القدير الحمد لله العلي العظيم الحمد لله جبار السماوات والأرض الحمد لله على من عمو له الشكر على ما اللهم والثناء بما قدم الحمد لله جبار السماوات والأرض الحمد لله على ما أنعم له الشكر على ما اللهم والثناء بما قدم الحمد لله على كل نعمة كائنة أو هي كائنة ثم الصلاة والسلام على المظلل بالغمام محمد وأهله الكرام اللهم صل على محمد المصطفى وعلي المرتضى وفاطمة الزهراء أم الحسن المجتبى والحسين شهيد في كربلاء وصلي على أئمة المساهمة مسلمين علي بن الحسين زين العابدين ومحمد بن باقر علم النبيين وجعفر بن محمد الصادق وموسى بن جعفر القاضم وعلي بن موسى الرضا ومحمد بن علي الجواد وعلي بن محمد الهادي والحسن بن علي الزكي العسكري والحجة القائم المهدي عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف هؤلاء أئمتي وسادتي وقادتي بما أتولى ومن أعدائهم أتبرى اللهم صل على محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Again, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Again, I would like to congratulate everyone on the birth anniversary of our beloved Imam, Imam Mahdi Ajral Farajum wa Sharif. When it comes to Imam Mahdi, there are many things that one can learn, even when it comes to the history of our beloved Imam and our beloved Imams and our beloved Prophets. We see in history, for example, let us ask ourselves this question. Let me ask myself this question. If I was living during the time of the Prophets, from Prophet Adam alayhi salam, would I support him? Yes or no? The answer is yes. If I was living during the time of Nabi Sheikh, would I support him? Yes. If I was living during the time of Nabi Lut, would I support him? The answer is yes. If I was living during the time of Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, will I support him in building his boats? Because people thought that he was crazy building his boat. Like, listen, you're building your boats in the middle of the desert. Where are you going to take this boat? Right? Am I going to support Nabi Nuh alayhi salam? Or or am I going to be one of those people who are abandoned Nabi Nuh alayhi salam? Right? Safinatun Najat. Right? One of the names of Imam Mahdi is Safinatun Najat. Why? Because he will save people from drowning. Not physically, but spiritually. Now when we fast forward to our last prophet, seeing all the calamities and all the trials that he's been through, will I be one of those people who support my prophets? Yes or no? I need to look at myself and I need to ask this question to myself. Will I be amongst those people who support my prophet in the battle of Badr? Then let me move forward. Will I be amongst those people who will support my Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam? During when? When the Prophet passed away. Will I support him? During the time of Saqifa, will I support him? During the time of Nahrawan, would I support him? During the time of all of these battles that Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam took place, will I support him? Now let me move on to his son, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, our second Imam. During the time while he was looking for supporters, will I support him? Imam Hassan alayhi salam. You know, I like to see Imam Hassan, this is my opinion. I see as Imam Hassan alayhi salam as the forgotten Imam. I refer to him as the forgotten Imam. Why? Because unfortunately, there are some Muslims, not only Muslims, there are some Shias out there claiming, A'udhu Billah, that Imam Hassan alayhi salam was a coward. Why? Because he did not stand up against Muawiyah. So there are some people out there that say, don't be a Hassani, be a Husseini. Have you forgotten? Have we forgotten the narration from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, where he says that Hassan and Hussein are imams, either sitting or standing. Here it doesn't mean physically sitting, and it doesn't mean physically standing. Because people be like, oh, Imam Hassan, you know, he could have fought Muawiyah, he could have done this, but know this. If the situations were flipped, meaning Imam Hussein was in the situation of Imam Hassan, and Imam Hassan was in the situation of Imam Hussein would have done the same thing as Imam Hassan. And Imam Hassan would have done the same thing as Imam Hussein alayhim as-salam. So whatever it is that Imam Hassan chose to do, we have to understand that this was a divine intervention. Him deciding to do that was because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to do that. It was not only because of his mere needs. It was not because of these worldly desires. Now when I go to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, what do we say? Every single time in Muharram, what do we utter? Oh Imam Hussein, I wish that I was with you in Karbala. I wish that I was with you to attain martyrdom in between your hands. No, we do not say this? Do I not say this? Now, do I live this? Do I live this with my actions? You see now, we went through 124,000 prophets, all the way to Imam Hussein, who stood up and revolted against these certain khalifas, these so-called khalifas. Now, when we go further on to Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, when we go to Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, when we go to Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, how can I support him? Why is he called Baqir? Baqir is because he split the knowledge. He was able to spread the knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam more than any other Imam. And when we go to Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, many of the riwayas that we see are narrated by whom? By our sixth Imam, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Now when we go to our Imam Musa al-Qadhim alayhi salam, what do we see? We see the sacrifices that they made for Islam. Imagine 14 years in prison. 14 years someone's been sentenced in prison. And these 14 years, this person, this divine individual is standing up shackled against the walls. And not only that is he standing up for 14 years. The prison that he's put in, you cannot move. And it's so dark that there's no light coming in. These are the things that our Imams went through. Now when it comes to my 12th Imam, we've seen through history, we say, oh, only if I was with the Prophet, I would support him. I will be amongst those people who did not run away on Uhud. I would have stood on that mountain, supporting, fighting for my Prophet, defending my prophets. Yes? During the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, I will stand by him and I will support Amir al-Mu'mineen. During the time of Karbala, I will support, I will give my life for Abu Abdullah. I will give my money. I will give everything for Abu Abdullah. But you know what? We have the Imam of my time right now. Are we supporting him with our responsibilities? Because know that the Imam is waiting for me. I have to take this personal. I can't say the Imam is waiting for us. I have to say the Imam is waiting for me. So let me not deny, or let me not prolong the coming of the Imam because of my own deeds, because of my own selfish deeds. Let me help the people. Let me help the Muslim Ummah. That way we are strong. And when the Imam comes out, I am ready to support him. Let us be truthful with ourselves. If the Imam comes out right now, are we ready to support him? Will I be ready to support him? Or will I be amongst those people who say, go back, ya son of Zahra, we don't need you. We have the scholars, we don't need you. Go back. Go back to wherever you came from. We don't need you. We got this. Would I be amongst those people? Or will I be amongst those people who helped my Imam? Will I have that relationship with my Imam? You know, we say our Imam is in hiding. Let me tell you something. Our Imam is not in hiding. Our Imam is present. The physical eye cannot see him, but my spiritual eyes can see him. My physical ears cannot hear him, but my spiritual ears are able to hear him. My physical tongue is not able to have the conversation with my Imam, but my spiritual tongue is able to have the conversation with my Imam in a daily basis, to the point that even when someone says, Assalamu alaikum ya hujjatullah, he answers back, wa alaikum salam. Oh, wa alaikum salam. This is the type of the relationship that I need to have with my Imam. To the point that every time I go to sleep, I send my salutations towards the Imam, and the Imam responds back to me. You know, there was a story of this scholar. He always wanted to see the Imam. Always. He wanted to see the Imam. He's praying day in and day out. And this person is a big scholar. He's the teachers of Marajas. He teaches Marajas. And he wanted to see the Imam of his time. He wanted to see Imam Mahdi. He did the dua, never saw. And then once he was told, if you want to see your Imam, go to this place. You will see your Imam. The scholar got up and he rushed to the place. When he got to the place, what did he know? He noticed that it was a funeral of a person. A funeral of a lady. And that lady, the story was that at that time, the ruler of that place said, anyone were to go out without hijab are to be executed. Anyone to go with hijab, seen with hijab, will be executed. So this lady stayed in her house for several years. More than 2 years she stayed in her house. I want to say at least 7 years. She remained in her house. She passed away. The Imam went to her janazah. So he went to this teacher, this scholar. He's like, listen, you don't have to come to me. If you truly believe in me, I will come to you. So if we truly believe in the Imam of our time, and we take care of the responsibilities that we have on the Imam of our time, the Imam will come to us. We do not even have to go to him. The Imam will come to us. The Imam will give his salams to us. But what a person has to do in order to do this, first is become self-aware. I have to become self-aware of what I'm doing. This is the month of Sha'ban. The month of Rajab just passed. Month of Sha'ban is going to end soon. And the month of Shahr Ramadan is coming. So we need to make our relationship with the Imam of our time, so that even when we pass away, that I know certainty that the Imam of my time will come to my burial. Imagine the Imam, the 12th Imam, coming to a person's burial. How honorable is this person? Or how honorable was this lady? To the point that she feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She didn't fear the government. She feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And she told herself, I'm not going to go out of my house. When she passed away, the Imam of our time went to her without doing anything. So we might do service by tongue, yes. But you know what? Actions speak louder than words. So we can say during Muharram, oh, only if we were with you, Ya Aba Abdullah. I wish that I was with you, Ya Aba Abdullah, so that I can attain martyrdom with you. We can attain martyrdom right now. I can attain martyrdom right now. With whom? With the Imam of my time. But what do I have to do? I have to make that relationship with him. Even if it's saying, Assalamu alaikum, or Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-zaman. Twice a day. When I wake up and before I go to sleep. Make that relationship. You know, sometimes when people cross paths, you know, they say that men, forgive me females, but men tend to make friends faster than females. Why? Okay? I'll give you an example. There are two people walking by. They're both males. They walk by the first day or the first week. The first day, they're just, okay. The second day, no problem. The third day, they give that nod, like, hi, what's up? The second day or the fourth day, they wave. The fifth day, they wave and say hi. The first week, they introduce themselves by name. The third week, they invite each other. Oh, you're going here? Okay, you know what? Maybe we should do something. Right? They make friends that way. All by how? By a simple salam. So when we have this communication with the imam, I give him salam twice a day. I'm not saying 3 times a day, 5 times a day, 4 times. No, just twice a day. When I wake up and before I go to sleep. And I'm not saying read the ziyarah for the imam. I'm not saying read ziyarat Ali Yasin. No. I'm just simply saying Assalamu alaikum ya sahib al-zaman. Or Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-zaman. And then go on with your day. And before you sleep, Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-zaman. Then go to sleep. When we do this, we will see things that not an ordinary person will see. We will start communicating with our imams. Why? Because my imam is like, listen, this person is from my ummah and they're remembering me. So let me remember them. And when I pray for his safety, my ummah, my person, is praying for my safety. So let me pray for their safety. So once we understand, in order to understand our responsibility with our imam, we have to build a connection with our imam. Because it is easy for us to build connections with our bosses, with our supervisors, with our co-workers, yes? But yet, what about my imam of my time? Do I not need to build a connection with him? He is more important than my job. He is more important than my supervisor. He is more important than anything in this world. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put him on this earth as his hujjah. And anyone who dies not knowing their imam of their time dies a death of what? A death of jahiliyyah. Now here is just not knowing them by name. Is also knowing them spiritually and supporting them. So now we need to ask ourselves this question. I need to ask myself this question. If I want to support the imam of my time, am I supporting him now? Because if I'm supporting him now, then know that I am safe. If I'm not supporting him now, then know that I need to change myself in order to support him. So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may give that order to the imam. Now it is time for you to come. It is time for your dhuhr. Now come out. Now they are ready to support you. Then when he comes out, we all support him. And inshallah, we will all be amongst the 313 generals of the imams. Because the soldiers will be big. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us one of those who are the generals of the imam. And in order to be one of the generals of the imam, we have to sacrifice sleep and reading Dua al-Ahad at least for 40 days. Read it for 40 days. I guarantee you it will be a habit from there on until Yawm al-Qiyamah or until someone passes away. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على